are planes of development? In her book, The Absorbent Mind, Maria Montessori states, I have found that in his development, the child passes through certain phases, each of which has its own particular needs. The characteristics of each are so different that the passages from one phase to another have been described by certain psychologists as rebirths. Human development doesn't occur as a constant, steady continuum. Rather, it speeds and slows and features rapid changes, peaks, and valleys. According to Maria Montessori, this is because human beings develop through a series of distinct developmental phases, or planes. She called their pattern of growth and change the constructive rhythm of life, pointing out its cyclical nature and calling our attention to the transformational points of transition between each plane. Foundational to Montessori philosophy and pedagogy, Dr. Maria Montessori's observation of the planes of development provide great insight into the developmental milestones for each child. The holistic framework of development that she devised is comprised of 4 planes. The first, infancy and early childhood, occurs from birth to age 6. The second, childhood, occurs from age 6 to 12. The third, known as adolescence, takes place from age 12 to 18. And the fourth, which she called maturity, happens from ages 18 to 24. Maria Montessori asserted that each plane begins with an intense period of construction, followed by a period of consolidation and preparation for a new stage of development. For this reason, the planes of development are depicted as triangles along a continuum. They rise and fade and are cyclical in nature as they mirror each other. Adolescence shares much in common with infancy, while childhood strongly resembles early maturity. Maria Montessori observed numerous characteristics and milestones in each plane. Sensitive periods characterize each. These are the golden opportunities when, if permitted, children have heightened abilities to obtain knowledge and master skills. During these sensitive periods, children will learn more naturally than at any other time in their life. At each plane, the associated human tendencies and characteristics inform how we, as adults, can best prepare the child's environment for optimal learning. The first plane of development is characterized by a striving for physical and biological independence. The child is literally trying to construct themselves as an individual. During their first 6 years of life, children effortlessly absorb what their senses experience. They soak in everything from their environment like a sponge, which is why Maria Montessori referred to this period as the absorbent mind. Through age 3, this absorption is unconscious. From ages 3 to 6, this process becomes more conscious. A question that perfectly captures the essence of this period of development is, what is that? Sensitivities during this plane include language, movement, order, refinement of the senses, small objects and tiny details, and social skills. Some common characteristics of the first plane include physical and spiritual construction, a need to feel loved and protected, adaptation to one's surrounding environment, development of the ability to formally communicate, development of coordinated movement, spontaneous physical movement, use of sensory organs, working alone or in parallel with others, and the need for purposeful work. The second plane of development is known as the time of the conscious imagination. It is characterized by a craving for mental and intellectual independence. During this developmental period, children begin to display the ability to reason and to use abstract thinking. They begin to search for a sense of mental order in addition to physical order. They begin to take charge of their learning based on their interests and desires. A question that captures the essence of the second plane is, why or how is it? Sensitivities in this plane include abstraction and imagination, morality and justice, culture, and social interactions. Some common characteristics of the second plane include the disappearance of physical features of infancy, preparation to move from concrete to abstract learning, the use of the imagination, a need for internal rather than external order, proclivity towards adventure, a sense of justice, social needs and herd instincts, a need for big work, and the greatest potential for intellectual development. The third plane of development is coined the new identity. It is characterized by an effort to construct a social personality beyond childhood. During this time, adolescents strive for social and economic independence and a sense of autonomy. The question capturing the essence of this plane is, who am I? Sensitivities in this period include social justice, heroes and role models, personal dignity, and a sense of belonging. Some common characteristics of the third plane include a need for respect and a nurturing environment, great change and relative instability, rapid physical and emotional changes, emotional sensitivity, decrease in intellectual capacity, a need to discover one's intended vocations, idealism, and abstract learning. The fourth and final plane is known as maturity. This developmental period is characterized by spiritual, emotional, and moral independence. During this time, mature individuals reflect upon their plane in and contribution to society and humanity. Individuals express themselves as part of their society. The question that captures the essence of this plane is, what will I do? Sensitivities of this period include personal interests, social independence, evaluation of social policy, and personal responsibility. Some common characteristics of this plane include evaluations of social policy, development of personal interests, spiritual, emotional, and moral independence, and establishment of personal responsibility. Montessori planes of development guide us as parents, caregivers, and educators in providing age-appropriate environments and learning experiences that support the natural progression of a child's physical, cognitive, and social-emotional growth. Which Montessori plane of development do you find most intriguing? And how have you seen its characteristics reflected in a child's behavior and learning? Share your examples and observations in the comments. And remember, we have lots of other great videos, so make sure you have subscribed to our channel and are following along on all of our other social media platforms as well. Until next time, have a wonderful day.